Welcome to the stage, artistic and executive director of Mosaic Youth Theater, Delashea Strawder. You will not have to eat anything, so.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm thrilled to have you as a guest. You at home, you in the audience, if you are not familiar with Mosaic Youth Theater, they do some amazing work, and I am so glad Delashea's here tonight.
Well, I appreciate having the opportunity to come and chill with you all. And again, thank you for no strawberry onions.
Yeah, I think that it's a stance we all need to take together.
No wasn't the worst one.
It was the worst one by far.
You got to draw the line somewhere.
You do. So Mosaic, you are the fearless leader of the organization.
Fearless is an interesting word.
Okay.
I get to work with young people who are absolutely fearless. I, on the other hand, have many fears and reservations. But we won't talk about them because I don't want Anish to come back with them in his bag. So we're good.
Good. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you end up here where you are in this role?
Well, like 5 minutes ago, I was a teenager in Mosaic. And I had the opportunity to tell my directors what I was thinking, which was a novel concept, that whole be seen and not heard kind of thing. And they really pushed me to say what it was that I wanted to say, and told me often to take up space. And so now I get to co-create safe and brave spaces with young people to help them to build agency to do the same thing.
Wow. Give a round of applause for that, please. We connected early last summer, and I managed to get a meeting with you, and immediately from the moment we started talking, it was like, oh my God, this is a person who gets shit done. I mean, leaving the conversations with actionable steps, a plan. You put me on a panel at the DIA like a couple weeks later.
And we didn't make him eat anything.
No, they didn't make me eat anything. They're Anish, where are you? But I am very impressed with what you've got going on with Mosaic and some of the artists. I had the pleasure of attending the New Voices Detroit Festival, and we got to see these short works by your students that were no qualifiers, just brilliant pieces. And can you tell us a little bit about what that's like working with folks to that end?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly inspiring. There's this thinking that young people don't care about much of anything besides themselves, and the reality of the situation is that's the furthest thing from true. So they picked this theme that they wanted to explore, which was behind the mask, really talking about mental health, not from the vantage point of the people that are putting those challenges on them or saying that these are challenges for them, but really talking about it's not just COVID that has been a challenge. It's adultism. It's, always being othered. And so they created these pieces, these short plays, as well as compositions to talk about those things, and also to really challenge us as adults to think about what mental health is and how to take better care of ourselves and how to let our egos go a bit to invite them, or not necessarily invite them, but to make room for them in the conversation, or they're going to take it.
Yeah. I think it's, I work primarily with adults here, but one of the things I find myself saying a lot is if you get out of an artist's way, it's amazing to see what they come up with. You don't have to squeeze people into creating. And I would imagine that is a maybe more so true when working with young people who maybe it's the first time that they've had this opportunity to just do what they want to do. And how do you balance guidance and control maybe if that makes sense.
I don't I don't see the stage or the space that we're in as something that belongs to me. It's absolutely theirs. And so oftentimes when people ask me what I do, I tell them that I do what all of these people tell me to do. I just happen to be the voice that is welcomed into the room to share what it is that needs to be said because I happen to be over 18. So there's no balance. I just have to, back to that fear thing, be courageous enough to say what needs to be said.
And one more time. So,
Yeah,
got something?
Were there any surprise performances that you saw that, I don't know, they probably came in shy, and then by the time they performed, you were like, oh snap.
I wouldn't say that there were surprises. There were certainly evolutions. There were ideas. Most of them submitted an idea for a show and weren't really sure what they wanted it to be. And as they continued to talk with their coaches, the adult playwrights that were helping them to better understand, how to write dialogue and how to move the story forward when you only have, 7 to 10 minutes. That's the part that's challenging, even for adult artists. Editing. Yeah, we don't do that well, so well.
I'm still working on it.
But yeah, going through that process and then really owning their gift, owning their space. I think that was the part that was probably the most eye-opening. It was seeing them evolve as artists and as people, and being rooted and grounded in that they don't have to shift or be something different to be accepted. They can be all of who they are.
Yeah, thanks.
And owning spaces and taking up space on some of the biggest stages, like not just around, but some of the biggest stages. I mean, I saw from the Mosaic page an opening. What basketball game was that?
We were at the Pistons game on Sunday.
The Pistons game on Sunday. Like, we're not talking about just tiny little spaces. We're talking about fantastic performances from these youth at some of the highest levels possible. So, wow. Let the Good Times Roll is an event you have coming up on February 9th and 11th. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's our annual concert. And for the first time, probably since the 90s, the concert will be absolutely free to the general public due to a partnership with the Detroit Institute of Arts. And the concert is really talking about, again, owning space, looking at our past and preparing for our future. The kind of soundtrack to the story is all rock music from rock pioneers and torchbearers, from Little Richard all the way to Gary Clark Jr. So it should be a lot of fun. And there are over 80 artists, with the bulk of them being young people that are involved in the show.
Wow. The show is Let the Good Times Roll. It's February 9th at 7 p.m. and February 11th at 2 p.m. at the DIA. The organization is Mosaic Youth Theater. Delashea, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Love talking to you. You're welcome back anytime.
We deal with mature grown-ups.